How's it going, everybody? Akashikawa here. Welcome back to another CTGP update, this time for December 2024. Mario Kart Wii CTGP 2024 is nearly in the books, and we have 3 new tracks, 3 major updates, and 5 minor updates to show off today. Obviously, before we get started, we have to talk about the tracks that were removed. 3 tracks were removed from this update, so let's just get into it very briefly before we get started. Summer Starville, honestly, I feel like is a little bit basic. That probably should have been removed. I know some people are kind of sad that Summer Starville went, but honestly, I feel like it was old. Not many people really played it. I completely forgot it was in CTGP before, like, I saw it on the removal poll. So I think that Summer Starville probably should have gone. Windmill Village, I kind of have the same opinion. I did like Windmill Village when it was in. I think that it was, like, fairly solid. I think that, again, its age was kind of showing a little bit in terms of, like, the weird, like, corners, the fact that you're just diving into water and not really knowing where you're going. So yeah, Windmill Village and Summer Starville, I think, absolutely should have been removed. The track I was most surprised by being removed was Disco Fever, because I'm pretty sure we just voted that track back in. Now, there's an interesting story behind Disco Fever and Mushroom Peeps that I will get into later on in the video, but I'm very surprised that Disco Fever was removed. I think that, yes, it's an old track. Yes, it was a secret track. I don't explicitly know why it was removed. I know that it was, like, being put forward as, like, being put back in the main pack. Maybe that's why. Maybe people didn't really want to play it in the main game. But I don't know. I'm very surprised that Disco Fever was out. I would have expected something like, Spike Desert or Metropolis to be removed, maybe, but not Disco Fever. But again, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. Let me know in the comments what you think of the removals. And yeah, with all that being said, let's get into the update. There are some pretty cool tracks to show off, so I'm excited. Alright, our first track of the day. Not much really seems to have changed from what I'm noticing. I wasn't expecting it to be the GBA version still. I thought that when I saw a major update, it would be the 8 Deluxe version. Except that's, that's more recent, it's new, it has, like, an interesting design. But I'm not, like, explicitly complaining about this. This is, like, I like the GBA version of Cheese Land. I don't know if that's necessarily, like, a controversial opinion, but I do like it. Okay, so for what I'm noticing, there are a lot fewer bumps, and I think part of the track positioning in terms of, like, the off-road has changed, I think, a little bit. I mean, you can probably still do some, like, really, dumb off-road shortcuts, like a golden or a star, because that's always kind of how this track's been. But I don't think that, like, too much really changes. I think the background's changed a lot. I don't think the night sky feels a little bit different. Oh wait, okay, some parts are slightly animated, like that. Those flags are moving, for example. Can you still take shortcuts like this? Oh, you can. That's a lot tighter than it used to be. Oh! Okay, there's another thing. This part is completely blocked off now. Old version, you used to be able to cut this entire section off as well. This new version, you can't. I guess I'll try and make it a little bit more, to prevent, like, the whole Magic Cruiser just being the best track, or the best vehicle on this track. I still think the Magic Cruiser would be the best vehicle on this track, because again, you still have, like, really dumb off-road cuts like this. But I think that, the edits of the tracks are fine. I think that there are a couple of criticisms I could make, or really, like, the main criticism I would have is the fact that a couple of those, like, bumps, like the little things you can trick off, are placed in a couple of really awkward positions. Like, around turns, I think, are a little bit awkward. I think it was around the second corner where it was really bad. Let me quickly see. If I just go off this bit normally, there's a cut, like, right in the middle of the road there. And, like, considering how weird these like, tricks can be, you just get sent flying off into a random direction. So I don't like that. But other than that, I think it's a pretty solid update. Would I call it a major update? No, not particularly. But I still think that the update's solid. So overall, no real, like, massive complaints here. It's solid. And I think that solid is pretty good. Okay. Finally. Bugsy's N64 Wario Stadium's in. You have no idea how happy this makes me. I'm pretty sure I said it when I reviewed this track with Mario for the first time, that this version should be in CTGP as soon as possible, because this version is just so much better. I think there were apparently a few issues with it, like in terms of, like, bugs, but, like, I think now that, I guess the bugs must be fixed, because this is just, I'm so happy that it's in now, and it's 2 laps, that's perfect. I liked the old version, the original version, the proper version, if you will. Just for, like, nostalgia purposes, I love playing it in actual Mario Kart 64. It would always be really fun target shocking people, like, over the really big ramps. They could, like, have to go all the way back round. But in Mario Kart Wii, it was just way too long. And I think that Bugsy's version gives this track a lot more, like, originality. It's very, very creative, the way that he's done this. Honestly, it kind of reminds me a lot of something like DS Wario Stadium in terms of, you know, the stadium vibes, and, like, you know, I don't know. There's something about this track that gives me DS Wario Stadium vibes. Maybe, I don't know. I can see a little bit of Waluigi's, like, old Waluigi Stadium in this. I don't know, there are some very, very cool influences. Even, like, Wario Colosseum with the elevated, like, purple, like, you know, driveways, I guess. Or the purple elevated roads, I suppose, is a better way to put it. Like, there's a lot of, like, influence of Wario tracks. I really like that, especially considering that I don't know if you can really do much with Colosseum. That's a cool shortcut. Again, there are so many little, like, sprinkles of originality and creativity in this that I really, really like. But yeah, really happy this made it into CTGP finally. Let me just go over these for fun. Whee! Also, the W lights are a really nice touch. I would say, in fact, this whole track is a massive W. Really, really good stuff by Bugsy, as always. And hopefully more tracks of it will get into CTGP at some point. Honestly, I feel like Bugsy is a really underrated custom track creator. He does a lot of really good stuff, so go check out his other tracks if you can, because he does some really, really good stuff like this. Ooh, okay. I mean, I like the night theme already. I'll be honest, I was very skeptical when I saw Nivurbia on the list. Oh, they removed the, okay, they removed the, there's a really annoying part. There's like a, I don't even know what it was, like an ice cream stand or something they removed. I'm glad they removed that, because that got in the way. Okay, this section's changed as well. They removed the Christmas trees from inside there, which made that a lot more annoying. Is the shortcut still the same? Okay, the shortcut's still the same. And that's about it. Okay, so what they've done, the penguin's still there. Hello, penguin friend. Right, so what they've done with Nivurbia is the track layout is exactly the same, still the same, really sharp, right-angled corners, although arguably not as sharp as it used to be. They've just taken Nivurbia and just removed pretty much everything bad with it, which I think is quite, you know, I think honestly that's for the best. Like, the Christmas trees in there were really annoying. Like, again, all of the annoying stuff in here has been taken out. And the track just looks a lot better as well, which is like really cool. I love the lights, you know, on the Christmas trees, like the lights on the wooden ramps as well. That's really cool. Like, I don't know, this track just looks so much better than it used to be. I was very skeptical, as I said earlier, because, like, at the end of the day, Nivurbia is just Nivurbia. But honestly, after this, like, I could kind of see myself playing this track a little bit more, which honestly, I would count as a win, because Nivurbia is one of those tracks which kind of is like, it was one of those old school tracks that feels like it should have been removed a while ago. But now, honestly, with this new version, I could see Nivurbia lasting for a little bit longer. Give it like another year or so, and I think this track could survive for like that amount of time, if not longer. You know, visual updates and track updates really do help an old track, I suppose. So yeah, overall, very, very good update to this. I would play this one a little bit more, so honestly, I'd consider that a win. Alright, Aqua Dungeon. Now we're on to the minor updates, so I'm not entirely, like, expecting loads from this. But let's just see. You know, I'll always at least give them a go to see if anything substantial has changed, just in case. You guys know my feelings on the way they word things in the updates. I haven't seen the update. I'm going into this before I'm heading back home for Christmas, so I honestly have no idea, like, if they're going to change the wording or not. I'm willing to bet they're not. But, you know, I'm going into this, you know, this is a minor update. I'm not expecting too much. The track weirdly looked a little bit brighter to me. I don't know if that's just me having not played this track for a while. But the track, like, feels a little bit brighter. I don't know if it was, like, a little bit darker before, but it feels a little bit lighter, which is nice. This feels like it's changed for some reason, I don't know why. Can you still do the shortcut? Yes, you can! That shortcut's actually one of my favourite parts about this whole track. I love taking that car. Like, there are some really cool streamer shortcuts you can do on this track, and that's what I really like. I think, honestly, this is probably ZPL's best, like, original track. I think that this is actually really, like, rock solid. What about the shortcut over here? I've never been able to do this. Hold on. Yeah, like, that shortcut I find really hard. I know you have to jump trick that. I just find that really, really hard to do. So yeah, it doesn't look like too much has changed other than the fact that the track might be a little bit brighter. Again, like, people can correct me in the comments, I just genuinely don't know. But yeah, not too much to say for this one. Let's move on. Alright, Big Express City. Even if I wanted to cut out this one halfway through, I can't, because it's a one-lap track. So we're going to have to drive the entire thing and see if anything has changed. First of all, I know this track isn't that popular. I feel like anytime I see this track being, like, mentioned or, like, brought up in KOs or Frooms, people tend to complain about this one. And I don't really understand why. I know, you know, the train is the most annoying part. That I can fully understand because I'm with you there. I just failed the shortcut, okay. But yeah, I'm with you guys on the train. I think the train is the most annoying part, especially, you know, when the thing, like, you know, collapses and, like, you have to wait for the train to go by. Like, I don't play Mario Kart Wii or Mario Kart in general to, like, wait for a subway system that's not on time. We have to deal with that enough. And unfortunately, that hasn't been removed. I do wish that that part was removed. I get it adds kind of, like, a little, like, bit of, like, flair to the track, but, like, I don't know, I don't like that. If you could, like, edit that or, like, you know, take it out somehow, like, that would be more ideal. I think that would make the track a bit better. But other than that, the track is, I would say, pretty rock solid. It's not just a little bit dull, maybe a little bit long even for a one-lap track. Just kind of, like, I think, like, the length of the track isn't necessarily a problem. It's just the fact that there's, like, it's quite a long track with, like, not that much going on, if we're being honest. Like, there's not, like, a huge amount of, like, excitement going on here. I think races can be a bit interesting, but, like, it can be very easy to front-run this if you know what you're doing. And it's just kind of like, well, now what do we do? There's not really much we can do here. Again, there's not really, loads I am noticing in terms of, like, a change. It's just kind of, like, the same as it always is. I think that, like, again, aside from the train, there's not really that much you can do with this one. There was a massive digger here before, I'm pretty sure, or, like, a big, like, construction work vehicle here. And I've noticed that that's gone. And I'm guessing that's, like, the only, like, major difference. I'm glad that the giant golden bedazzled Wild Wing is still there. I don't know who paid for that in the city, but, like, I'm really hoping that that is giving, like, you know, enough of, like, a tourism kind of attraction to make your money back. But yeah, other than the construction vehicle disappearing, not too much to say about this one. Just please remove the train. And that's all, really. Moving on. Okay, I don't know if there's a track I've been more skeptical of than this. Everyone knows Mushroom Peaks. Even if you don't play Mario Kart Wii, I'm pretty sure you know Mushroom Peaks. In case you don't, this is either one of the best or one of the worst tracks of all time, depending on when you played CTGP, or, like, whenever you played this game. Now, I know what the update of this track is, because there was a massive deal made about this. That's not me intentionally trying the, you know, the fix, it's just, that's just me being, in general, bad at the game. So, there was a big thing that went round, which was, should Mushroom Peaks be removed from CTGP? And there was a poll. It was a majority poll, so that meant that 60% of people who voted had to say the track should be removed. The options were either remove the track entirely, or keep it in CTGP, fix a couple of things, and move it to be a secret track, and move Disco Fever up to be, you know, the replacement. Now, as we all know by this point, that didn't exactly pan out, because Disco Fever, as I mentioned earlier, was just voted out. So that kind of made the second half of that a little bit pointless. But apparently some of the respawns have been fixed. That's the only major update that I really know. So far, I haven't really gotten a good indication that that's happened. Like, the respawns still feel a little bit... I mean, I fell off kind of like where you were kind of meant to fall. If I fall off here... Okay, never mind, I did make that. But if I fell off around, like, you know, that back area, I wonder where I'd respawn. Would it be a little bit better there? Although I don't know how you could make that respawn better. I'd actually argue that the respawn at the end of the track kind of makes sense. You wouldn't really want to be placed anywhere else, apart from maybe closer to the finish line. The only other place I can think of, you know, which would be replaced would be the this big mushroom cut, which I'm somehow doing better than, you know, the actual, you know, oh no, oh wait, you know what, I actually could have made that. Right, where does that respawn be? And actually, I did notice, okay, I did notice a change. So, the main change with the respawns here are you don't fall for it long. It just kind of well, not insta-respawns, but it's like as soon as you, like, the game knows you're off the track, it's like, nope, you're done, respawn. Which I think is pretty good. You don't want to be falling for, like, literal decades, you know, on any track. Because, like, you know, that could be, you know, that could be a first or, like, last place determination. So, I can see what they mean in terms of, like, the respawns. I didn't notice it at first. I can see it now. But, yeah. Again, the track hasn't really changed too much. I think that a visual update to the track would be nice. Will that ever happen? I don't know. I think that even getting an update as is was like, pretty rare enough. So yeah, I think that, you know, maybe give it another 10 years, and we'll see a visual update to CTGP. But who knows? Maybe we will get a visual update at some point in the future. But I spent enough time talking about this track now. We know what the respawns are like. Let's just move on. Okay, speaking of secret tracks, it's Super Sky Courtyard, made by 9 people. Yeah, so, this track, again, like, I reviewed it when it got back in. I am nostalgic for this track. I did review this track when it actually was getting taken out for the first time. That's, like, way back in the Active Shikawa lore. But yeah, the only thing notable about this is that one of my, like, you know, Twitch followers, Toadade, is, you know, she's the Easy Staff Ghost, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool that 8's been the Easy Staff Ghost in a couple of tracks that got into CTGP. So it's cool that she's got another one. But yeah, this is Super Sky Courtyard. It's a very old track that, you know, got in. Oh, okay, I forgot this isn't actually part of the track. Let's just quickly head back and actually do this part properly. That's always very confusing, the fact that a grass texture is the actual road. But yeah, anyway, this is a very old track. It got put back in as, I believe, a replacement to Star Slope. Disco Fever and Super Sky Courtyard, excuse me, were, you know, the new secret tracks. Also, let me see if I can do a cool shortcut for you. Just give it a moment. Oh! Never mind. Okay. I think they removed the shortcut. They've moved that a little bit further away so you can't do that anymore. Because that was a very, like, cheesy shortcut you could do in the beginning of the lap. Because if you just, like, had a mushroom, like, on time trials, if you just had a mushroom and you just used it and jump tricked, you could pretty much skip that entire first spiral, which I thought was really funny, and kind of like a part of what gave Super Sky Courtyard its kind of identity. Obviously they removed it to be a bit more fair. I don't know how that's going to go down, in the community, I imagine some people really like that, other people won't. I'm just kind of indifferent at this point. I don't really care that much. Oh, okay, that's not off-road, okay. But yeah, I think that this track probably should stay as a secret track. I know that it's going to be joined by Mushroom Peaks, which will be very interesting to see how that affects, you know, how often it's picked. But I think that, you know, the removal of the shortcut at the very beginning, I think it's definitely going to be polarizing. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if you want to, like, you know, be able to drive the track. So yeah, overall I think that it's, you know, interesting. I think that removing it is probably for the best. Just for, like, just to be fair. I do want to test one thing. So I do notice there is off-road here. Is this out of bounds? Okay, that is out of bounds. Okay, so they have thought that through as well. Okay, okay, my point stands. It's probably good from the shortcuts removed. And yeah, again, not much else I can say. Time to move on. Alright, here's another track that I don't think many people really play anymore, but, like, it's got an update. The Rabbit Hole, Alice in Wonderland themed track. Again, if you know CTGP well, you'll know what this track is. This is a very, very old track, I believe. I don't know exactly how old, but just know that it's old. But yeah, this is one of the longer tracks in the pack. It is 2 laps, which is, I think, a small blessing. And you can do a couple of cool cuts like that. You use a mushroom and just wheelie off. Not even needing to trick, you can just use the momentum of the mushroom and the wheelie to get on top of that table. And you can also use a mushroom here to do a shortcut, which is pretty cool. That pretty much gets you to the mushroom, or you can get, well, if you did it better than I did, you can get to that little ramp and the mushroom a little bit better. There is a little wiggle around there who's very adorable, and also probably on something. I'm not entirely sure what happened to the poor guy. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the more creative tracks that I've seen. That doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's good. I think that there is a lot going on visually, especially down there underwater. But like, I think that, again, the track is very creative with its design. Again, like the... Whoa! Okay, that... I knew the Koopas would be there. That genuinely scared me. I didn't know what was going on with that Koopa. Oh my god. But yeah, I think that this track is, again, very creative. Do I think it's good? I don't know. Not really. I mean, like, let me see if they're... Okay, they've still got these annoying dudes. I think these dudes are probably the most, like, annoying part of the track. The little card knights that go, like, back and forth at varying speeds. I think that maybe they've slowed down a little bit. I know that the last one used to be just like Sonic speed, just like, no, like, cuts right across. But I don't think they're doing that anymore, which is a relief, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, thank God they're not doing that anymore. I'm not noticing that many changes, though. It just kind of seems like business as usual for the Rabbit Hole. Again, I know it's a minor update. I'm not, like, really expecting anything major from this apart from, like, a couple of bug fixes here and there. But yeah, other than that, like, you know, the fact that the card knights might be, you know, moving a little bit slower. Again, it just kind of seems, you know, business as usual. And I think for Rabbit Hole, that's fine. It's just kind of fine. And I guess with that out of the way, let's look at the 3 brand new tracks in CTGP that are hopefully a little bit better than this. Okay, this is very interesting looking. Oh, okay, I understand now why it's called Cruel Angel's Thesis. So, if you don't... Oh my god. That's a slightly awkward rap. So if you don't get the reference, the reference to the song is... or the reference to the title of the track is Neon Genesis Evangelion, the anime. Typically regarded as one of, if not the greatest anime show of all time. People definitely put it up there with shows like Attack on Titan. I've seen, like, little bits and pieces of it. It is, in fact, very, very good. Not my kind of show, but it is very, very good. There are a couple of references I do understand in this, like, you know, the giant spear, like, lodged in the ground. That, I believe, is one of the weapons. This is the lab, where Shinji, the main character's dad, is. Shinji is the main character of the series. You may well have seen him from the, you know, the Shinji Crank That Soldier Boy memes, or even, like, the Shinji death scream, which has become infamous and is also used in, like, I think... I've seen a few funny memes of that scream being included. I'm not going to play it. Just look up the Shinji scream for yourself if you want to see it, because, like, it is horrifying. That, like, image in the sky is very pretty, by the way. So, yeah, there are a few elements of this track that, like, I don't really understand. Like, again, I don't know Evangelion that well. Oh, it's a two-lapper as well. Interesting. Okay, I kind of like that, actually. I like that it's a two-lap track. But yeah, I think that, overall, like, you know, there are probably quite a lot of rounds here that, like, you know, you could, like, see. What's around here? Oh, okay. That's a gap jump. Okay, I feel like I could make that with practice. That seems actually not necessarily an easy shortcut, but it seems a lot easier to me. Honestly, I feel like I can make that a lot easier than the Mushroom Gorge gap jump, unironically. Can I make it up? Oh, I can't make it up there. But that's cool as an extra little path. It's probably not faster, but at least it's there, and it's actually pretty cool. Is there a view out here? There is a little bit. There is a little bit of a view. I like that. But yeah, this track looks absolutely, you know, gorgeous. It is really, really pretty. I mean, if I could have, like, a little bit of animation into this, I would actually have, one of the... Can you go up here, by the way? Oh, you can. Ah, you can to an extent. Boo! I want to climb the mountain base. That would be really cool. I think that, like, having an actual, like, mech in the background would be really cool, like, moving about. I know it would be a lot for Mario Kart Wii, but, like, I feel like if this was an 8 Deluxe custom track, it would absolutely have that. But, I'm not gonna, like, hold that against the track. The track is, like, really pretty on its own. And, yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. This is definitely, you know, a worthy, like, you know, this is a track that's worthy of a modern CTGP update. It just looks absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, definitely, one of my favorite new tracks that got in this year. Yeah, looked very, very pretty. Big fan of this one. Okay, so these last two tracks I am familiar with because of Mario Kart Midnight. Shoutouts to Mero. This is Interstellar Laboratory. Okay, the floor has changed quite a lot. I love that it's, like, transparent. That's a really, really cool touch. So yeah, I played this one with Mero a while ago in Mario Kart Midnight. Not even in Mario Kart Midnight. I think we just played this in Custom Track Showcase, but I believe it made it into Mario Kart Midnight a little bit later on. I believe the first time we played this, it completely crashed on us, so that was fun. But yeah, I think this track is, like, really, really pretty. I do really, really like the look of this track. There are some really cool shortcuts you can do, like you get on top of that building, I believe, is one that I remember. But yeah, this track just looks so beautiful. It's very much like, it gives off, like, you know, Starry Cityscape vibes. It's like in the same, it's almost like it's in the same universe as Starry Cityscape. And you can go into this house as well, which is kind of cool. Can you do anything in here? No, but it's a cool, I guess, living space if somebody wants to, you know, like, move in. Maybe add a toad there or something. Just, you know, give that little house a little bit of life. I think I didn't go this way yet. Yeah, there are, like, loads of very cool elements of this track that, like, you know, if you go out and explore, like, there's loads of, like, really cool cuts. Again, that's really cool. That's a really, really cool shortcut that, like, I don't think you would ever really necessarily spot the first time, which is kind of cool. You kind of look at that and think, oh, it might be like a little Easter egg, which is admittedly what I thought that was going to be. But no, that's an actual shortcut, and it's like a really, really cool one as well. Very easy to take, not like, excuse me, you know, anything complicated. It's really cool. What about this? Okay, even though I took that cut a little bit awkwardly, that was still a fairly easy one to make. So yeah, can you go in here? Ah, you can't. I always want to see if you can go into, like, you know, little cubby holes like that. But yeah, overall, like, this track is very, very good. A little bit different to how I remember it playing it the first time. You probably need a mushroom for this. Can I jump up here? Yeah, okay, you definitely need a mushroom for that. But you can definitely get on top of that house and then do a couple of cool shortcuts with it. But yeah, overall, I think that the track is very, very pretty. one more thing I want to test out. I imagine you could get into, like, one of those windows if you really tried hard enough. If I just, like, go up here like this... Oh, okay, you can nearly make it on top of the roof. I don't think those windows are actually, like, drive-throughable, but, like, it was worth a test. I thought you could drive through those windows, but I guess you can't. But yeah, overall, really good track. Big fan of this one. Happy again that it's gotten the CTGP. It's kind of got the credit that it deserves. And yeah, really good one. I can't wait to play this more in KOs and Frooms in CTGP next year. Alright, and the final track for the CTGP update this year is Warriors Climate Cataclysm. It doesn't look too, you know, bad now. And then wait till you go into the portal and the future! Oh my god! This is what will happen if climate change gets too much, by the way. Climate change is real. Anyway, this is Warriors Climate Cataclysm. It's a very, very cool idea for a track. Like the mixture of, you know, the mixture of fire and ice kind of like converging together. Always a really cool idea for tracks and level designs. Like, again, like, at least for me, the Nintendo fan, first thing I think of is Freeze Flame Galaxy from Mario Galaxy. Also, I love the Wario Snowman there. That's a really cool touch. And now I'm back to fire. So I played this one in Midnight as well. I believe I played this in Midnight 2. I think this is it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is Midnight 2. But yeah, like, I think the idea of the track is very, very cool. I also like the, you know, the little end cut you can do there. That's pretty cool. There are also a couple of different routes you can go. Like, you can go up here, for example, and I believe this takes you down a different route, which is pretty cool. I believe this is a little bit faster too, but again, don't, you know, quote me on that. It might not be faster. I could be talking bollocks, but, you know, as I always do. But yeah, this one's pretty cool. I mean, I played this, like, numerous times, so there's not really, like, loads I can really... Oh, there's not really loads I can really say about this one, apart from the fact that, like, maybe, like, the ice section around here is a little bit too sliding. I feel like the bumps, like, the kind of, like, weird, like, juts in the hills kind of make parts of this track a little bit hard to see when you're going around corners. But it's not, like, too bad. It's not like, you know, the Troy problem of, oh, it's not signposted properly. Like, you know, it's signposted pretty well, I think. Like, overall. But yeah, honestly, I think the track is very, very good. It's a very creative idea. I think it works well in Mario Kart Wii. Just maybe, you know, tone down, like, the little, like, juts in the hills, like, maybe, like, have the ice settings a little bit smoother so you can kind of see where you're going instead of feeling it's going over, like, a blind hill. But, like, yeah, there are a few things I could imagine, you know, wanting to experiment with. For example, like, see if you can go the, like, starting from the lower route and then triggering to the top route. See if that's any faster. But yeah, I think that overall, again, pretty cool track. A nice message. Again, climate change is real. Please, like, you know, don't do anything stupid to, like, harm the planet, because otherwise we'll end up like this. And yeah, overall, I think that it's pretty cool. I don't know why or how, like the climate going down is, like, Wario themed. I feel like he would maybe do something to cause, like, you know, damage to the planet, just because Wario, he doesn't really care that much. You know, care more about the planet than Wario does. That's all I want to say. Be more like this and not like, you know, that. But yeah, overall, pretty good track. Pretty cool update. You know, a pretty cool addition, I guess, to CTGP. And yeah, pretty solid stuff overall. I like this one. Alright, and there you have it. That is the final update for 2024 in the books. Now, all you need to do is give it a rating out of 5 threads, and I thought actually quite hard about this one. I was really struggling to give this one a rating and kind of put my thoughts into words. I feel like I can't rate this update higher than a 3.5. I was really debating whether or not to put it as a 3, but I feel like 3 out of 5 is a little bit harsh, so I'm going to say 3.5. Now, here's the thing, right? The new tracks are really good. I think that Cruel Angel's Thesis is probably one of, if not the best track put into CTGP this year. I think the Interstellar Laboratory has always been solid. I love that transparent floor and the shortcuts you can do with it. I think that's a fantastic track. And Warriors Climate Cataclysm, even though I mentioned that, you know, it could be a little bit better in terms of the weird juts in the hills that make it, like, a little bit hard to see, I think that that's a solid one as well. Now, the major updates I was kind of struggling with. N64 Wario Stadium, fantastic. Really happy that that's gotten into CTGP finally. Nivurbia, I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's Nivurbia. There's not really much you can do with that. But I think that removing all the bad stuff and putting all, like, you know, improving it so it's, like, better, I think is, like, really... I think that Nivurbia is a solid track now. I think that they did a really good job on Nivurbia. Cheese Land, I don't know if it's unfair to say that I was expecting a little bit more from it. Like, the update's solid. Like, there's a little bit of animation, and, like, the drivability is a little bit better, so it's not just, like, you know, focusing on, like, oh, Magic Cruise is the best, but, like, I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more from it, if I'm being completely honest. I was hoping for a little bit more. The minor tracks, I don't really need to say anything on that. Like, you all know my feelings on minor tracks and minor updates. I will say that the respawns on Mushroom Peaks are a good fix. I just think a visual update could be better. So, I really feel like putting this at 3.5 is maybe a little bit unfair to, especially the new tracks. Because I think that, again, the new tracks were absolutely stellar for this update. And I think that if this was like any other update in the year, if this was released, say, 6 months ago, I think that this would be really, really solid. However, the problem is that this was released on a Christmas update. And for the past 3 years, the Christmas updates, I feel like, are where CTGP really puts its best foot forward, does a lot with, like, you know, putting, like, you know, the expectations for the Christmas updates are, like, really high. They're up to, like, the moon in terms of expectations, I feel. Like, literally, last year, I rated that update a full 5 threads out of 5. That's the first time I've ever done that. It was that good. 2022's was a 4, and that was a very good update as well. 2021's, if I could have put a thread rating down, I wasn't doing thread rating at the time. If I could have put a score down for that, it would have been at least 4.5. So I think for a Christmas update, this update, in my personal opinion, you can let me know if this is a little bit harsh. I understand if people think this is a bit harsh. I think for a Christmas update, when CTGP, like, normally puts its, like, best updates out, I think that it's a little bit disappointing. It's a mid-update. However, I do think that the tracks in this update are good. I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm saying that the majority of the new tracks I really like. Even Cheese Land, which I was a little bit disappointed we didn't get more with, I think is great. I just think that for a Christmas update, it was a little bit disappointing. But obviously, you guys have different opinions. Do let me know if you think I'm being a bit too harsh. Do let me know if you have different opinions to me. I would love to hear them. I think that having discussions about this are genuinely fascinating and really interesting, so do let me know. In the meantime, that's all from me. I know I haven't uploaded a lot this year. I haven't had that much motivation, if I'm being completely honest, but hopefully next year there'll be more things coming from me in terms of content. If you want more content from me, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ActorShikara. I do have a Blue Sky now, just search Actor Shikara on there, and you can follow whatever random bollocks I post on Blue Sky. And obviously, make sure you like and subscribe to the video, it does genuinely help. You know, the motivation can go up from that, so do like and subscribe if you can. That's all from me. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the update a little bit more than I did. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you all very soon. Take care of yourselves, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and peace.